Alright, good evening po sa inyong lahat at welcome na naman sa isang edisyon ng TechSabado. Of course, ngayon ay Saturday evening. And Jing Garcia po ng TechSabado.com and of course, the Manila Times. Siyempre, bago tayo mag-start ng mga usapan natin ngayong linggo to, papakilala ko muna ang ating mga host dito sa ating programa. Unahin ko na siyempre ang kasama ko since 2015 sa TechSabado nung panahon nasa TV5 pa kami sa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM 10 years ago. Walang iba kung hindi ang attorney ng bayan.
Melvin Calimag po, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Iniwan na natin ng lumang tunog ng radyo.
Yes. All digital na po ang TechSabado. And of course, sige, so go.
Ano tayo? We're here at the PLDT Ramon Cuangco building. And of course, with our collaborator, si 𝐂𝐤𝐥𝐞𝐞 𝐅 along with his angels. Okay,
yes.
Back to you, Jing.
And syempre, ang isa na ating co-host dito ay ang prinsipe. Ayaw nang tawagin prinsipe pala. Tito na lang. Tito ng San Pablo, Laguna. Walang iba kundi si...
Magandang hapon po, ay magandang gabi. Sorry. Magandang gabi po, Tito Tribs, Raymund Tribdino po ng The Manila Times, ng TechSabado at ng CleanTechnica.com.
Thank you, Tito Tribs. And alam naman natin sa mga panahon na to, ng July, August, September, at syempre June na rin, sama na natin, wet season na sa Pilipinas. Alam na natin, pag wet season, dala nito ay tag-ulan. Yan, yung mga bagyo, at saka syempre, yung mga calamities na nangyayari pag may mga typhoons. So alam natin, the Philippines is no stranger to natural disasters. Every year, the country faces numerous typhoons along with floods, earthquakes, volcanic activity, and other hazards that test the resilience of communities across the archipelago. Recent events, including the devastating earthquake in southern Mindanao and the powerful earthquake that struck Venezuela, underscore that disasters can happen with little warning and that preparations remains a global concern. This July, as we observe National Disaster Resilience Month, this conversation could not be more timely. Beyond emergency response, resilience today also depends on reliable connectivity, early warning systems, artificial intelligence, and strong collaboration among government, sector, and private sector, and local communities. So, importante yan, attorney, no?
Yes.
Yung coordination ng mga different sectors pagdating sa mga kalamidad. In this episode, we'll explore how technology and public-private partnerships are helping Filipinos prepare for, respond to, and recover from disasters, while discussing practical steps that every family can take to become better prepared when the next emergency strikes. Tonight, we'll have Colonel Willie F. Gonio, Head of the Security Central Command and Administration Center under PLDT's Asset Protection and Security Risk Governance, APSRG. He leads initiatives that strengthen the security and resilience of PLDT's critical infrastructure. Napaka-importante niya kasi pag may disaster, isa sa mga kailangan natin is communication. So he oversees security operation, risk management, and emergency response to help safeguard the company's nationwide network and facilities. And of course, ang isa nating din kasama, si Analeen is the head of the Business Continuity Management Analytics and Strategy under the Business Continuity and Resilience Office of PLDT and Smart. With more than 27 years of experience in technology, cybersecurity, risk management, and business continuity, she leads resilience initiatives and is the creator of Emergency Vital Essentials, an AI-powered disaster preparedness assistant that support PLDT and Smart's Connected for Resilience. Okay, and of course, siyempre, katabi ko ngayon ang aking dating boss sa Interaction.com. Walang iba kundi si Mr. Roby Alampay. Is the first Vice President for Public Engagement and Corporate Communications at PLDT and Smart, where he leads corporate communications and shared value initiatives focused on expanding technology and connectivity. A veteran journalist and media executive, he is also the founder and executive editor of Puma Public Productions, and previously served as Editor-in-Chief of Business World and of course, dati natin plataforma, Interaction.com. under TV5. Good evening, Sir Roby, Islen, and
Good evening
Sir
po.
Nel.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, ayan, Roby, bato ko sa yung first question namin. Resilience. Ano ba ibig sabihin nito for a company like PLDT?
Bago ang lahat, Jing, kapatid.
Oh, kapatid.
Welcome back. Blast from the past to para tayo nasa interaction lang. Ano? Dahil, salamat din, Melvin. Salamat din, Raymond, dito sa TechSabado. Ilang taon na?
10 years.
10 years, ano? Ang galing. Congratulations
Thank
sa
you.
TechSabado.
Thank you.
Of course, kinalulugod namin sa PLDT at Smart to host you here dito sa Media Center, dito sa Ramon Coangco building. Inaayos talaga
Oh,
namin
nirenovate to, no? Dito dati ganito eh.
pinatibag ko tapos pinaayos ko para sa para sa inyo eh.
TechSabado.
And of course, we would like to thank you for continued support ng TechSabado throughout the years.
Oo. Tsaka ginawa namin mas resilient.
Yun na.
Hindi, doon sa tanong mo, di ba, parang natawa nga ako kanina nung sinabi mo, alam natin, June na. Alam nyo na, sinabi mo, July na. Alam nyo na, pagka-July, pagka-August, pagka-September, umatras ka pa, tsaka pati June.
Pati June.
So, umahaba yung panahon eh. Nung grade school ka, August lang ang rainy season. Ngayon naman, so para sa akin, ang resilience talaga katatagan, sabihin natin, di ba? Yung preparedness, kahandaan. Pero iba pa yung katatagan eh. Kasi hindi mo naman masasabing malalaman mo kung kailan tatama ang sakuna. So, mas mahalaga pa siguro sa pagiging handa, yung sarili mong tatag. And that applies to individuals, it applies to households, it applies to a company like PLDT and Smart, and buong LDP group pa nga. And of course, it applies to sa buong bayan natin, sa buong bansa. Yan. So, yan, para sa akin, yan ang resilience.
When it comes to business continuity, I'm sure Ms. Leng is overseeing this. So
Yes,
paano
yes.
'tong ginagawa sa ating sa kumpanya tulad ng PLDT and of course the other MDT group?
Siguro si PLDT and Smart as a critical utility, no? We think ng resilience starts or it begins before disaster happens. We do that as part of our mantra, no? So, yung goal namin, kasi si Colonel Willie is more on the physical security, the BCRO focuses more on people and making sure that the critical activities or services is up and running. Yung aming goal talaga is to empower our employees and their family to be able to, what to do during a disaster, know where to go, and stay connected. Kaya lagi PLDT and Smart is more on the connectivity side.
Saan naman po pasok, sir, yung security when it comes to resilience?
Okay. Sa security naman, kasi kami nagpo-provide ng mga security advisories through, meron kami tinatawag na Handa platform. Yung Handa platform na yon ay isang crisis communication tool na ang nagagawa naman niya, halimbawa may bagyo. Example natin yung past na bagyo, si Inday. Kung titingnan niyo si Inday, malayo sa Pilipinas, pero napakalakas niya, super typhoon siya. So, nung nagbigay kami ng advisory through Handa application last week, or the week na nandito si Typhoon Inday, nakapag-prepare agad yung mga empleyado namin, including yung mga network team para ma-anticipate nila kung saan dadaan yung super typhoon. So, ipe-preposition na nila yung mga gamit na pwedeng gamitin pagka may kailangan i-restore na connectivity, especially yung mga critical sites namin. Pero ang pinaka-importante, yung proteksyon ng empleyado.
Of course.
No? So, yung handa na yun, nabibigyan ng warning yung empleyado tungkol dun sa bagyo, na eto, ganito kalakas yan, dito dadaan, iwasan niyo yung mga magiging flooded areas, etc. So, doon kami pumapasok. And siguro doon sa last phase na ng disaster, sabihin na natin, during recovery, kami yung tumutulong pagka kailangan pumasok ng mga nagre-restore ng mga connectivity namin sa mga, especially doon sa mga ilang na lugar. So kami nakikipag-coordinate, ina-assist sila kung saan dadaan yung mga supplies, vehicle, mga tao.
sa mga ganitong disaster, isa sa mga unang tiyatamaan dito is communications. Tama, bro?
Correct.
Paano tayo nakaka-recover agad? Especially, yun na nga, kung kailangan ng business continuity at the same time, kailangan ng security sa mga empleyado and of course, infrastructure, infra mismo, no? Paano nakaka-recover ka agad ng isang kumpanya sa ganito?
Ako siguro yung mga detalye niyan sila Colonel can speak more authoritatively, no, on in terms of facilities, logistics. But ako, I'll just start with yung mindset muna.
Okay.
No, na sinabi nga natin yung resilience, no. It really starts with the mindset na una, hindi natin naantayin yung sakuna. 'Di ba? Marami ka nang pwedeng gawin bago pa may tumama na hindi mo alam kung ano yung tatama. No? So that's really where it starts. It starts with preparedness. Resilience really starts with preparedness, and that's the mindset na gaya nga lang sabi ko, wag na muna natin pag-usapan yung PLDT, umpisahan natin sa sarili nating mga pamilya, 'di ba? And then you will see na yung mga ginagawa na nating lahat sa pamilya natin, makikita mo it's the same way that every organization, every community, every LGU, every country becomes resilient. So ano mga kasama dyan sa framework na yan? Bago pa may tumama, sinasabihan natin yung mga anak natin, kung may mangyari, alam nyo ba telephone number ko? 'Di ba? Kung walang Facebook, kung bumagsak ang internet, paano tayo magkikita-kita? 'Di ba? Saan tayo mag-ano? Wag muna kayong tatakbo sa akin. Sumilong muna kayo, 'di ba? Parang mga ganyan. Alam nyo ba kung saan kayo pwedeng tumakbo? Alam nyo ba bahay ni Lolo? Alam nyo bahay ni Tito, ni Tita, 'di ba? So you make plans. Diba?
Okay.
That's one. At the same time, sa sarili nyong bahay, nag-iimbak na kayo ng tubig, ng pagkain, naghahanda na kayo. At even in the worst case scenarios, diba? Alam niyo yung sarili nyong lugar. That's part of the mindset. You know your place better than anybody else. You know what's the safest part of your house. You know in your barangay alin ang mataas, saan ang mababa, saan usually nagbabaha, and so on. So it starts with that mindset na alam naman natin Alam natin yung dinaranas na at dapat natututo tayo, di ba? And then I'll turn over sila Colonel, what does that mean on the level of an organization?
So before pa makat yung communication, dapat naka-communicate ka na of how to do things.
Nakahanda ka na. I mean, hindi lang sa communication, no? Pati yung mga kasi halimbawa, sabihin natin, dapat alam mo na paano mag-communicate. Diba? Pero part ng paghahanda is, alam mo, saka magcha-charge. So now you're not thinking of, you're now thinking of the power source. Diba? Meron kang power bank. Diba? Binigyan ka ng power bank noong Pasko at sinasabi mo, pang 10 power bank ko na sa Pasko, anin ko to. Diba? But then now you realize na, kung iniipon pala natin to, malaking bagay na rin pala yung marami kang power bank. Diba? Tapos tali-tali na yan. Colonel.
Yeah. In addition sa sinabi ni Roby, dito naman sa corporate, unang-una doon sa safety ng tao. Bago yung preparedness, kailangan nila yung tamang situational awareness. Kung ano yung paparating na sakuna, for example. Kasama sa impormasyon na yun, ano yung pwedeng mangyari, ano yung pwedeng maging impact sa buhay natin and even dun sa business. So sa empleyado, makakapag-prepare sila ng kung ano ba isusuot, kung magiging maulan, kung saan dadaan, kung magiging mabaha. Even yung simpleng information about yung mga malalaking rally sa EDSA, pag na-receive nila in advance yan, may iwasan nila yung matraffic pagka papunta sa pagpasok sa opisina, di ba? In a larger scale, pagka i-apply mo yan doon sa preparation naman sa corporate setting, especially ang PLDT and Smart kasi ay network provision ang services. Internet, cellphone, and other technology services. So hahanapin agad yan ng mga tao, taga-network for example, paano nila i-anticipate yung disruption pagka nangyari. to ensure na yung services ng kumpanya ay continuous kahit na dumating yung crisis.
Pero what about kung massive yung disaster like for Typhoon Yolanda where everything was
Yeah.
Down.
parang down, obliterated? Usually ano yung ginagawa ninyo?
May mga ano may ito sa forte ni Leng ito, but I will just share. May business continuity strategy na ina-apply yung company. For example, doon sa Yolanda, kung halimbawa putol lahat ng connection, meron kami tinatawag na 𝐒𝐤𝐥𝐤, yung mobile equipment on wheels. Pag nilagay mo yon, para kang may mobile cell site na maliit. Pag samasamahin mo siya, it will restore the connectivity kahit na siguro sandali lang, but it will ensure na makakapag-usap pa rin kayo. So I'm turning over to Leng muna to continue.
Sige. I wanted to appreciate din yung comment ni Roby kanina kasi nag-start siya sa sarili niya. And that's how the Resilient Citizen Program of PLDT and Smart starts. Kasi parang before ka marami kaming lesson learned sa mga Odette, sa Yolanda. Maraming lesson learned na kinukuha si PLDT and Smart and improve kung paano kami nagkakaskate, paano namin pine-prepare yung mga empleyado. Kaya nagkaroon ng Resilient Citizen Program. It start with you. So siguro tanungin ko ngayon, lahat ba kayo may power bank? Yes?
10.
At dala nyo ang cellphone nyo. At dala nyo ang cellphone nyo, right? Kasi iniisip nyo, let's say for example, something happens here, magkaroon ng earthquake, hawak nyo yung phone nyo. Kung mayroon pang signal, makakatawag kayo ng support. Pwede nyo rin tong gawing flashlight. At saka kailangan natin lagi ang power bank kasi laging nawawala ng... kailangan natin laging naka-charge yung mga cellphone natin. So it starts with you. That's when you look at the circle, starts with you. And then sa PLDT naman as employee, yung tanong ni Jing kanina, paano nyo nasisiguro that the PLDT and Smart can still recover? Fast ha, hindi basta ma-recover ng matagal na panahon, no? Siyempre maraming magrereklamo, yes. And it will affect the brand image of the organization. So isa yun talaga sa tinitingnan namin. So we make sure, katulad ng sinabi ni Colonel Willie kanina, we make sure that our employee knows what to do during a disaster. Ano yung uunahin nila? What are the critical equipment? Siguro kung medyo technical, what are the equipment na una nilang i-up para mas we're able to give services to most of our subscribers. We have that identified. We protect our critical assets together with the group of APSRG. That's one. And then yung kanina, yung sinabi ni Roby, syempre, during the Yolanda, prepared ka nga sa sarili mo. Prepared ang PLDT, ang empleyado, pwede silang pumunta dito kahit baha so that we can recover the services. Pero paano naman yung pamilya? During the Yolanda, hindi namin ma-expect ang empleyado to go to the facility and fix it and put the infrastructure up. We all know that it's critical, di ba? Pero paano sila pupunta? Even the security guards. Paano ka pupunta kung kailangan mo puntahan ng pamilya mo, hindi mo alam kung safe sila, hindi mo alam kung nasa second floor or nasa bubong na ng bahay, di ba? So, we come up with that Resilient Citizen Program and ensure that our employee, yourself, your family, is prepared during a disaster. So, para pag nagkaroon ng disaster, prepared ka, hindi lang kami ha, kasi lagi nilang sinasabi, meron kami laging tinatanong sorry kung medyo mahaba. Meron kami laging tinatanong when we do the personal family preparedness. If you're in the middle of the road, papasok ka, what will you do? Let's say nagkaroon ng earthquake. Uuwi ka ba o dediretso ka sa opisina? Mostly lahat ng mga may pamilya, uuwi sila. They don't care kahit magalit yung boss nila. Kasi they need to know or they need to make sure na safe ang pamilya nila. Except sa mga single. Yeah, totoo to. Sabi ng iba, I'll go to PLDT and Smart office. Kasi sure ako may kuryente doon. Sure ako, up ang infrastructure. Tsaka kung isakali man, hindi yun babahain. Unlike sa bahay nila, walang kuryente or ano. So it's a different thing. That's why we also need to study who are the resources who can go to the office during a disaster. And those are the critical assets that we need to make sure that ready pag nagkaroon ng disaster para naman para naman mabigay namin yung serbisyo na kailangan na, alam mo yun, yung serbisyo namin in terms of the connectivity.
Pwede pa lang evacuation area yung PLDT.
Mga single.
Pero ano ha, walang biro. I don't know if we can share. Some of our cable landing station, naging evacuation area na siya during one of the crises. Kung sasabihin, okay lang ba? Okay lang sabihin daw. Gumaganon si Sarah eh. So before parang naging ad hoc lang siya. Kasi within the community of fisher folks kasi siya eh. Siyempre, pag nagkaroon ng disaster, medyo elevated ang ating mga cable landing. So, some of the, in the barangay, pupunta sila sa cable landing natin. And we, of course, kinukup-kup naman natin sila. Plus, of course, the public engagement group, libreng tawag and yung charging.
Course, yes.
Iba pa yon. So, may mga ad hoc din na ginagawa ang PLDT and Smart pag nagkaroon ng disaster.
Okay, more talk about business resilience and business continuity sa pagbabalik po ng TechSabado. Okay, on our second segment ng TechSabado, we still have Colonel Willie Gonio, head of the Security Central Command and Administration Center under PLDT's Asset Protection and Security Risk Governance, or yung tinatawag na APSRG. Analeen head of the Business Community Management, Analytics and Strategy under the Business Continuity and Resilience Office of PLDT and Smart. And of course, Roby Alampay, first Vice President for Public Engagement and Corporate Communications at PLDT and Smart. Tito Tips, may tanong ka regarding new technologies when it comes to
bago yung tanong
business
na yan, meron
continuity.
akong comment, Tito Jing. Kasi boses pa lang ni Colonel, safe na ako. Di ba?
Very reassuring.
He knows what he's doing.
Secure na ako, di ba? Safe na ako. Pero yung tanong kasi is, it's more of a technology question because una, you're talking about critical infrastructure, ano yung kahalagahan ng communications, and so on and so forth. So, dalawa yung question. Anong contribution ng technology dun sa pagiging maayos ng pagtakbo ng programa? At paano mo sasaluhin, Colonel, yung teknolohiya na yun para i-convert into an action? So, you first.
Sige. Pero si Colonel Willie, meron din yung technology
Oo,
na
kaya nga. So,
ginagamit
doon
during
natin
the
simulan.
disaster.
Doon natin simulan.
So, in the context of using the technology in disaster preparedness, we developed 𝐖𝐤𝐥𝐤. So, 𝐖𝐤𝐥 stands for Emergency Vital Essentials.
Okay.
So, we call it one of our preparedness initiatives that uses agentic AI. It helps develop or deliver a personalized disaster preparedness plan for our employees. So, kasi traditionally, yung mga emergency plans, generic siya. Pero yung 𝐖𝐤𝐥, it changes everything. It develops yung employee, it helps the employee and yung pamilya nila to have a customized emergency management plan based on their actual circumstances. So, kung saan sila nakatira, ano yung mga hazard na napiface nila, the actual composition of the household, at saka ano yung mga available resources. So, the features of 𝐖𝐤𝐥 kasi, they have the localized hazard-based assessment. So, kung binabaha ka, lapit ka ba sa fault line, of course, you need to know your risk para makapag-prepare ka. Then at the same time, It creates an emergency contact management. So, kailangan, it gathers information ng mga pamilya mo, relatives mo. Kasi even yung anak mo, you need to know yung contact details sa school. Kasi para pag nagkaroon ng emergency, you know where to contact to. And the other one is family unification planning. Kasi pag nagka-emergency, kailangan nag-usap na kayo ng pamilya mo kung saan kayo magkikita. Not just one assembly area or one meeting points, dapat 2 or 3. And the last is the 𝐒𝐥𝐥𝐢𝐥. It has go bag checklist generator. So like I said kanina, it depends on the number of members sa pamilya. Kung meron kang senior citizen, if you have pets, dapat when you do your go bag, kasama sila. You consider them when you do the go bag. So for PLDT and Smart, the reason why we have AI or 𝐒𝐥𝐥𝐢𝐥 in place, kasi si AI should not just make our work or make us more productive. AI should makes us feel or makes us safer and more resilient.
So when you have that already, so ang gumagamit ng ibang empleyado, paano nyo itatranslate yon, Colonel? Yung mga ibabato ng 𝐒𝐥𝐥 sa'yo.
Okay. Actually siguro in terms of yung paggamit ng technology, maaaring mauuna yung ginagamit naming tool bago mo may apply si 𝐒𝐥𝐥.
Okay.
Kasi yung tool na ginagamit namin, yun yung nagpo-provide ng situational awareness nga sa mga empleyado.
Okay.
So, ang tawag namin doon sa tool na yon, yung handa application. Yung handa application is a simple email messaging format. Pero pagka ginamit mo siya, each employee can respond. Halimbawa, nagbigay ng advisory na nag-earthquake sa Davao. Sabihin natin, 7.1 earthquake. Pag isinend yung handa advisory na yon, yung employee na nandoon sa Davao can respond doon sa tool kung safe ba siya, kailangan niya ng assistance, o meron siyang gustong i-report na something na nangyari out of that incident. For example, etong building na to, papabagsak na, nandito ako, baka mabagsakan ako. So, yun yung sabihin nating technology tool na ginagamit ng grupo naman namin, ng APSRG. So, ang ginagagawa ng handa advisory na yon o yung handa application, it can provide warning about an incoming crisis event, for example, or advice during an ongoing crisis event.
Okay.
Kung ano yung nangyayari. And additional inputs pagkatapos ng disaster, like yung earthquake, kung ano pa yung mga additional actions na kailangan mong gawin. And it also provide a hotline number na pwede mong tawagan anywhere in the Philippines na para sa mga empleyado ng PLDT and Smart kung kailangan mo ng tulong. Maraming beses na namin siyang nasubukan, nagamit, and talaga nakikita ng mga empleyado yung benefit. Now going back doon sa pagpo-provide ng warning, yon doon papasok ngayon si 𝐒𝐥𝐥 ni Leng. Para doon sa mga kung ano bang ipiprepare, kung ano yung kailangan mong i-anticipate because of the upcoming crisis event, kumbaga.
Eh, dagdagan ko lang, Raymond, yung sa ano mo, para lang palawakin din natin, no? Parang how does technology then apply, hindi lang sa PLDT, pero sa lahat ng komunidad natin, no? Again, dadaling ko sa mga bagay na nakita natin sa bahay natin, and even yung mga basic things na meron ang PLDT. Meron kami tinatawag na ligtas kit.
Yep.
Dinadala namin to sa mga barangay, sa mga munisipyo. Mahigit 75 na yung dinala natin sa iba-ibang hazard-prone na LGUs. Yung ligtas kit, makikita mo talagang parang baleta lang yan na talagang all-weather.
Parang go bag.
Oh, matigas hindi, matigas talaga 'yun. Yung ano ba tawag diyan? Yung hard case, hard shell na pwede mong tapakan, pwede mong lulutang. waterproof. Pero in terms of ano yung technology
Yes.
na pinapalaganap niyan, hindi lang yung i-expectin mo, siyempre, meron tayong mga cellphone, may wifi router, hindi lang yung mga ganon. Technology means anything that can aid us. Hulaan mo, Jing, anong pinaka-low-tech na meron dyan sa ligtas kit?
Yung
Yung pito.
Pito, di ba?
Oh,
So it starts with Pito. Pito
Correct.
is technology. It starts with that. Dati, nag-umpisa tayo dyan. Pagkatapos, nung nag-level up, anong meron pa? Bullhorn. May bullhorn, di ba? Parang hindi mo, you cannot underestimate the value of a bullhorn not only in an isolated community, but especially in a disaster situation na bumagsak ang mga towers and so on. So malaking bagay yon. Bukod pa doon sa mga sinabi natin.
Yeah.
And then kasama na rin dyan, again, hindi lang communications, meron niyang power source na para pwedeng mag-charge yung mga tao and so on. May mga radyo, so yung mga barangay captain, yung mga tanod can also reach each other. So that's an example of technology. And then as it goes on, we always at PLDT Smart think, how can this aid not just the resilience of the company, but the resilience of the country? So bukod sa ligtas kit, for example, meron din kaming tinatawag na AI in a box. And AI in a box is something that trains LGUs on how to develop their own tools, any solutions that are AI powered. And alam mo, nung tinanong namin ng mga LGU, sa tingin nyo, saan nyo po gagamitin ang AI? Marami silang ideas for processes, cut down on red tape, how to serve the community better. But you can guess what the number one application on the mind of mayors, governors, barangay captains is. It's disaster response. So iniisip nila, how can we use AI for disaster response? Well, we talked to a mayor who said, malaking bagay yan, kahit yung mga chatbot na linalait ng mga tao. Chatbot lang yung ano. But to be able to respond, sinabi nga natin, pagka may pinadala kang mensahe, may sumagot ka agad, malaking bagay ka yan. It actually comes to psychological first aid na may sumagot ka agad sa'yo. At yung pagsagot, because AI can then deploy that, pagsagot sa'yo, AI can then feed more people kesa yung pa isa-isa ka nagte-text.
Tama.
It can give more people immediate advice on saan ka tatawag, again, reminders how to take care of yourself, and so on. So maraming layers and technology that we deploy. Idagdag ko na rin dito, we have an emergency cell broadcast system. No? Again, this is location specific. We have Infocast, web-based SMS system naman to. Kasama na rin dito yung sa SMS blast, sanay na tayong lahat.
Yes.
But Infocast gives even more power to LGUs to blast to their communities and target specific areas if they have to. So again and again, we see the technology from the lowest technology, and we need to deploy all of these. Because sometimes yung low tech is much more effective sometimes, di ba?
During a disaster.
During a disaster, di ba? So again and again, we see the value for ourselves, but only in the context of we see the value of this for the entire country.
But for you, Leng, what's the first steps sa business community after a disaster? Ano ba unang ginagawa?
After a disaster?
Kaya may nangyari. Ano ba yung para magkaroon ng continuity yung business ninyo? Anong unang nangyayari ba?
Una yung sinabi ni Will kanina, no? We need to make sure that there's a communication. There's a connectivity. We see communication, connectivity is not just a communication. Usually, it's a lifeline. Kasi before nun, it enables the preparedness. Yun yung sharing of information, education. During a disaster naman, it helps connect people, no? And communities during a disaster. So after ng disaster, the connectivity, it accelerates yung recovery kasi by restoring yung mga critical services. Financial, the hospitals, other critical utility. Because telco or communication is also part of the critical utility. So dapat ma-enable namin para yung mga search and rescue, may communication. yun lagi yung importante. Siyempre, the power, partnership din naman namin ng power and water. So, we try to make sure that we're able to restore their connections so that they can also be able to restore their services.
Dagdag ko pa, Jing. Again, ito sanay na yung mga tao, libreng tawag. Diba? Again, technology. And again, and again, at every level, it's not just about pwede kang tumawag para humingi ng tulong. Again, psychological first aid to, psychosocial first aid. Just the fact na pwede ka mag-post sa Facebook to say na I'm okay,
safe,
or makapag-message ka sa mga grupo mo na nandito kami. Malaking bagay yun. Bago pa dumating yung tulong. Malaking bagay na yun. And the technology that we empower, it's not just about PLDT itself. We work with public sector. We work with DILG, for example, promote ko na dito. Yung Unified 911. Alam mo naman dati, bawat LGU gusto ng sariling emergency number. Alam mo, we brought the actual 911 technology from the US. The exact same system, the exact same company. We brought it here. It works. Legit yan. Gamitin niyo po 911 kahit wala na kayong kailangang isipin pa. And that is a technology that PLDT has enabled for DILG. With DILG, yung headquarters niyan ay nasa dito sa Manila, sa may Welcome Rotonda, in one of the old buildings of Quezon, of PLDT.
Hindi sa PNP.
Oh, di ba? Nando ng 911 base, and then bawat region meron ng 911. So pagka tumawag ka 911, pagka tumawag ka, ano pa yon? Local language. Di ba? Sasagot sa iyo in Waray, sasagot sa iyo in Ilocano, sasagot sa iyo in Cebuano. And again, that is technology being deployed by PLDT to enable not just ourselves, but our partners in government, our LGU partners, and ultimately the community.
Dati kasi pag tatawag ka ng 911, pizza delivery yun.
Totoo yan. Totoo yan. The DILG had to work also to get back that number. And not only, and also do the hard work of convincing all the LGUs na, uy, wag na tayo maghiwa-hiwalay na sayang sa resources, nalilito lang yung mga tao. Ito,
Unified to, di ba?
Unified to.
911. So, all over the country.
All over the country.
Okay.
Legit yan.
Ang ano yata niya, ng parang command center is
nandito sa
PNP?
Ha?
Sa PNP ba?
PNP building ba yun? Hindi, basta it's a PLDT building. Actually, yung history ng building na yan, dati nandyan pa yung mga switchboard. Diyan sa may Welcome Rotonda. Diyan sa may Welcome Rotonda.
Yung may parang tower.
Yan.
Brutalist building.
Exactly. Ganon. And through that history, now it is the most high-tech 911 center for the country. Pero gaya nga lang sabi, just last month we inaugurated regional bases for 911.
Last na ano ko doon is narinig ko is may automatic translation na into
talaga?
Kunyari German yung tumawag. Ano na niya itatagalogin niya parang gano'n. Kumbaga auto-translate yun sa parang sa iPhone,
sa iPhone
na
translate. Okay, before I end this segment, I would like to thank Retired Colonel Willie Gonio, Head of the Security Central Command and Administration Center under PLDT's Asset Protection and Security Risk Governance, and of course, Analeen, Head of BCM Analytics and Strategy under the Business Continuity and Resilience Office of PLDT and Smart. Thank you very much, Ms. Len and Colonel.
Thank
Si
you.
Roby may iwan kasi explain niya sa atin yung ligtas kit sa pagbabalik po ng TechSabado.
Ako po si Roby Alampay, Head ng Public Engagement sa PLDT and Smart. Please like, share, and follow TechSabado sa social media nyo.
Hello, I'm Melvin Calimag of Newsbytes.ph.
Jing Garcia of the Manila Times.
Raymund Tribdino, Tito Tribs ng Manila Times at ng cleantechnica.com.
Please like,
Share
Follow TechSabado
TechSabado.
TechSabado.
sa YouTube at Facebook.
Okay, welcome back sa TechSabado. For our last segment, kanina po, pinag-usapan natin yung business continuity. Mostly sa internal na mga korporasyon, kung anong ginagawa nila para magpagpatuloy yung mga services nila. Especially dito nga, pinag-usapan natin, people from PLDT, yung business continuity ng telecoms. Pero, ngayon, sa external naman tayo, yung community continuity naman. Tingnan natin kung paano naman nagpe-prepare ang mga LGU pagdating po ng mga ng mga sakuna, disasters, saka kung ano pang natural calamities. So, joining us, syempre kanina pa kasama natin si Roby Alampay ng PLDT Smart, and kasama natin ngayon from the LGU si Erick Abangley, a licensed professional forester and the local disaster risk reduction and Management Officer for the Municipality of Kapangan. Ngayon ko lang nalaman yung Kapangan sa Benguet Benguet Province. With extensive experience in watershed management disaster, preparedness, climate resilience, and emergency response, he has been serving in local government since 2015 and is actively involved in strengthening community disaster resilience. Ayan po, Erick. Magandang gabi sa iyo.
Magandang gabi din po sa ating lahat.
Yes, explain mo sa amin, ano naman, kung narinig yung usapan kanina regarding business continuity, ano naman pagdating sa external, ano naman ang community continuity, kung gusto ko tawagin ganun.
Yes, sir. So, sa amin po sa LGU, kung mayroong business continuity sa mga business, sa LGU naman mayroon tayong Public Service Continuity Plan, which we apply in our municipality, kung ano ang gagawin natin na makabangon kaagad na magbibigay ng service yung LGU natin pag tayo naman ang natamaan. Then aside from our business continuity plans, we have the contingency plans na ginagamit din natin for our response. And sa community naman, sa mismong community, we have the CBDRM plan, Community-Based Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Plan, which the barangay will implement to their own community. So dito din talaga yung in the first place, ito yung plan na ginamitan ng community risk assessment. Tinignan nila kung anong mga hazard na meron sa kanila at yun yung pinaghahandaan nila na gagawa sila ng plano kung paano sila re-responding, ano ang gagawin ng community para maiwasan ng mga sakano. So, yun sir. Marami ding plans sa mga LGU. So, we have the continuity plan din. Then sa municipal level, including the LDRM plan. And for sa barangay, yung ina-apply natin is Community-Based Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Plan, sir.
Roby, you're very much involved in this in PLDT Smart, in this kind of community services, especially pagdating sa mga preparedness and mga disaster-prone communities. Anong ginagawa ng company?
Well, kami sa public engagement, kasama dito yung stakeholder management group namin. Nakikitrabaho tayo, collaborate tayo and cooperate with LGUs, katulad ng Kapangan, marami tayong mga partners sa Benguet, not just in the level of LGUs, levels of schools also, mga civil society, and so on. So we reach out to everyone. But isang basic talaga, yung binanggit na natin kanina, yung ligtas kit. No? And it's not just one of our packages. It represents really the breadth of everything we try to do. Okay. What it really represents is offering safety, resilience, connectivity, and somehow makikita mo yan lahat dito sa mga ligtas kit natin.
Maka-receive naman ng ligtas kit ang Kapangan?
Yes, sir. So, we are one of the recipient of this ligtas kit. which we will mostly use in our preparedness and response, sir.
Ang tanong dyan, Tito Jing, nagamit nyo na ba? Yung testing?
Yes.
Any recent
Oo,
disaster
any
ba
recent
na
disaster.
na-deploy
Meron
niyo?
pa ako isang tanong dyan, mamaya, Colonel. Attorney, paano yung usapin kasi ng watershed disaster management? Pagkakaiba ba yon bilang forester and all of that? First question muna, nagamit na ba yung
Yes.
ligtas kit?
So yung ligtas kit po na naibigay po sa amin, nagamit po, which yung una na talagang nagagamit sa amin yung cellphone na kasama sa ligtas kit. Yun yung ginawa namin na hotlines.
Okay.
So mostly doon sila, yung number na binigay din sa amin, yung ginamit namin na hotline. So almost yung communication namin from the barangays, then we posted pag may incident, doon sila tumatawag, nagtitext. So
Okay.
yun. Then we have also this is flashlight and this we have pito. Mostly yung
sinasabi kanina,
ito yung ginagamit ng mga responders, kakabit if in case kasi may portion din sa amin na dead spot, walang communication.
okay.
So aside from the handheld radio na ginagamit namin, may pito for signaling kung wala tayong means of communication, at least yung responders alam nila.
Okay.
We have the flashlight and we have also the megaphones giving warnings, especially sa marami kasing may rivers, major rivers din sa amin, dinadayo din. So we give that megaphone to give warnings to the river growers, magpapaalala sa kanila for their safety. So we have also that solar power bank nagamit din, especially pag may brownout, alternative na charging station din namin. So mostly, yung naibigay po sa amin is nagamit po namin, sir.
And your experience as a forester, nakakatulong ba yun dun sa pagkakaintindi mo kung paano malampasan yung mga disasters?
As a forester, yes po. Especially sa hydrometeorological related hazard, which we have the tropical cyclones and we have the monsoon rains. And siyempre yung associate hazard niya, yung mga landslide sa amin kasi kabundukan yun. So,
Correct.
mostly yun yung mostly problem sa amin or challenges sa amin kasi mostly steep slopes yung sa amin. Then so as a forester, at least may pagkakaintindi din sa mga gubat, yung soil. Kaya kung tinitignan namin kung laging umuulan or yung especially pag monsoon rin, tuloy-tuloy talaga yun. So we analyze that and makita mo talaga na pag maraming ulan, maraming landslide, mga ganun na associate mga yun.
Marami ng communities na LGU na nakatanggap ng ligtas kit.
No, I think if I'm not mistaken, di ko kulangan ng mga 75 na yung mga munisipyo, mga barangay, mga LGU units ang pinadala na. No, just recently we were in all over. We were in Cabanatuan, we were in Leyte, we were in Cebu, and almost at every stop may dala kaming ating ligtas kit. And like I said, what it more than kung ano yung nakalaman dyan, is really what it represents.
Yes.
So it also comes with training. Nagdadala rin kami ng mga safety trainings. Hindi lang pati pa sa LGU, by the way. Yung training namin also extends to journalists. We do safety training also for journalists kasi sa totoo lang naman, frontliner din yung mga kapatid natin. And if journalists cannot do their jobs also, everybody suffers. The LGUs are blind to certain spots, to certain situations, and that makes recovery much more complicated. So in everything we do, there's only so much that you can put in a literal box, but there's also a lot that you can do with that box. But if that box represents something more than that, beyond that, and kasama na nga dyan yung capacity building, yung mga trainings, mentorship in the use of other technologies, and really just knowledge sharing, mas lalong lumalagana at umiigting yung impact na mga programang ganito.
Can you mention kung ano yung mga laman ng box and paano yung makakakuha yung mga ibang nangangailangan nito?
Well, meron naman kaming program. You can contact us at the Public Engagement Group ng PLDT. But banggitin ko lang I mean, actually nabanggit na ni Erick yung iba. Ito nandito na, sabi natin, no, meron niyang pito, meron niyang
low-tech, high-tech in times of disasters.
Ito yung mga low-tech, di ba? Pero
high-tech
huwag niyong i-smallin yan pagdating ng all the way to meron tayong bullhorn, no? Tapos meron tayong cellphone na nakakatulong lahat. Tapos all the way to yun nga, meron tayong power source, meron tayong mga power bank. Ay, hindi power bank, hindi lang yung maliliit, talagang malaki. Iba yung maraming mga gadgets at equipment na pwede mong isaksak dyan. At saka, all the way to ito, nabanggit nga ni Erick, and this is really learning and adding value to it as you learn. Solar powered yung generator natin. So
it's a complete survival kit.
Talagang kompleto. Of course, limited, di ba? Right? Kung solar, hindi naman gano'ng kabilis mag-charge.
Yes.
But that's where the training comes in. You have to have that mentality, that attitude na laging handa. And therefore, siyempre, i-charge mo yan yung wala pang nangyayari.
Di ba? Hindi yung pag nandun na tsaka ka pala mag-charge.
Di ba?
Yes, so...
And then, ultimately, that plugs into a whole ecosystem na nabanggit na ni Leng at saka ni Colonel kanina. At saka an ecosystem of other resiliency initiatives of other private sectors and other members of the private sector and the public sector. Alam niyo naman, ang kasanib din tayo ng Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation, ng PDRF, at marami tayong mga kaanib din dyan na iba-ibang grupo.
Doon sa pagbuo ng ligtas kit, ang question lang sa utak is that tinignan nyo ba yung disaster tapos ginawa nyo yung kit, or was it like just commonsensical to put all of these things together? Was there like a vetting based on like what the lessons that Colonel had?
Diba? I think sa lahat naman ng bagay, ang isang natututunan din ng PLDT, everything has to start with the community.
Okay.
Lahat to dinadaan sa konsultasyon.
Okay.
It's also, di ba, ang totoo naman dyan, lahat ng bagay may learning by doing ka. Bawat disaster, we realize, nako, kulang pala to or mahirap pala to. You learn things. But in all of that, you have to consult the community. Unang-una, they know their terrain better, di ba?
Yes.
Kung malapit ka sa laot, malapit ka sa tubig, mas alam mo yung sitwasyon.
Correct.
Kesa naman sa mga kapatid natin sa Benguet, na iba ang sitwasyon nila. Alam nila ang bundok, alam nila mga landslide. Teritoryo namin to, dito naman expertise.
Correct.
And we also, that's part of being connected. We also learn from each other. That is one of the things that PLDT Smart is most proud of. We also facilitate the knowledge sharing between the different LGUs.
Correct. And then in that knowledge sharing, so I'm sure there are training programs, right? And then the training programs are deployed by what means? Do they request it? Do you come? Is it like a continuous CSR project and so on? How is it done?
Yung request parati naman nangyayari yan, di man naman may iwasan yan. Sometimes we will go at talagang sasadyain namin ang isang LGU.
Correct.
For example, hindi mo naman may iwasan yan pag minsan nandun ka, may karatig din na LGU, karatig na barangay, at tatanungin, paano rin kami.
Correct.
Hindi naman namin sasabihin kaya namin bigyan lahat, no? Parang one of the outcomes we really want is first the awareness, the mindset. Pero ang isang magandang outcome na hindi namin necessarily pinlano to, ang isang nagiging magandang outcome every time you work with LGUs is they become trainers. Also.
Okay.
So nagmo-multiply yung knowledge. The facilities, the equipment might be limited, and we have to always continue in raising resources for that. Pero yung knowledge, unlimited.
Correct.
No? Isa yung outcome, for example, yung kinuwento kanina, yung AI in a box. We set out to try to train LGUs and give mentorship in certain things. Tapos pagka kinumusta namin, nababalitaan namin that yung mga tinrain, naging trainers.
Naging trainer.
Sila rin nagkukusa. They provide training for yung mga neighboring municipalities and so on. So that's the wonderful thing about being connected.
Ang galing. Ang galing.
Erick, sa Benguet ba, Kapangan lang ang meron ligtas kit o yung mga communities around them meron din?
I'm not sure, sir, but parang sa Kapangan yung isang napili. I don't know if the other municipality has. Pero sa amin yung parang sa Kapangan pa yung nabigyan sa Benguet. I'm not sure, sir.
I think in Benguet, Kapangan lang talaga yung una nating sinadya. Pero ayun nga yung mga outcomes na gusto nating mangyari. We're pretty confident and we know from experience. It doesn't end there. Kasi sila rin, tulong-tulong din sila sa mga karatig bayan nila.
Natanong ko yun kasi baka mamaya, pagdating naman sa kanila, kayo na mismo yung magtitrain sa kanila naman kasi nauna na kayo nandun. Nakakuha.
Na-experience mo na ba yun?
Sa amin naman sa Benguet, pag may resources na nakita, then applicable sa other municipality. Sa amin, sa association namin sa 𝐒𝐿DRMOs, nagtatanungan kami kung saan nyo ba nakuha ng mga gamit ng mga yan, mga trainings, baka pwede naman sa amin, mga ganun. Kaya we also shares kung ano ang information, anong gamit na meron sa amin. Ganun din naman sa amin sa Benguet. And also we have the MOA with the other municipality na we share also our resources. Not only the resources, pwede rin sa mga trainings, mga ganun. Nagtutulungan naman kami sa Benguet.
Tsaka ang isang maganda dito, like I said, it's really about knowledge sharing and also the mindset.
Yeah.
Kasi ang isang kagandahan sa ligtas kit, kung tingnan nyo, hindi naman ganun kahirap kumpunihin yan eh.
Correct.
Di ba? Kaya mo naman bumili ng pito. Kaya mo naman bumili ng
powerbank.
flashlight. I attended one of the safety trainings for journalists na ginawa namin sa Angeles. Tapos yun yung isang punto nung you can make up a list. Kahit habaan mo yung list mo ng grab bag mo, no? Kailangan ko ng lubid, kailangan ko ng power bank, kailangan ko ng kailangan ko ng cooking utensils, kailangan ko ng can opener, kailangan ko ng tubig. Pero ang punto niya sa dulo is mukhang parang mamahalin yata ito, Pero ang punto niya, pwede mo naman unti-untiin eh.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Pwede ka namang ito, lubid, kaya ko 'yan. 'Di ba? Power bank, may nagbigay sa akin ng birthday ko or sobra yung sa kay Jing, binigyan ako ni Jing ng libre. And before you know it, hindi mo kailangan biglain yung lahat ng gamit mo. And before, ang mahalaga, kinukumpuni mo yan bago tumama yung disaster. And it's also, again, sinabi natin, magkakapitbahay, magkakaratig, yung bayanihan natin. Again, you apply that to your own home. It's the mindset, di ba? Wala ako nito. Yung kapatid ko pala, meron. Yung anak ko pala, meron, di ba? Yung asawa ko pala, meron pala siyang ganyang gadget, o meron siyang ginagamit na ganyan. It's really that mindset that if we're all aware of the resources within reach and afford nating lahat, hindi naman malayo yan eh. Parang this is really just a symbol of what we can all do to be resilient.
Baka nga nasa bahay lahat yan eh. Kaya nasa bahay. So you can just have a backpack ready anytime, di ba?
Diba?
But Roby, isn't it that government should be the one providing these types of,
Pinupuno nyo yung kukulangan ng
Well, no, in fairness din, sabihin din natin, marami namang mga LGUs and government agencies, they do. This is not to say na PLDT and Smart or ang pribadong sektor ang nagpupuno dito. Ang sinasabi lang natin, ambag din namin to.
Okay.
Pero we have been all over the country and we have worked with government, we have worked with local governments at every level. And at every level, I can say this really very proudly and very humbly. Ang daming LGUs who are forward-thinking, who can anticipate what they need, and who set aside the proper things. Alam ko naman sa politika, sa gobyerno, lalo na tayo sa balita, we highlight a lot of bad things and gaps. But one thing I like, Jing, coming from media, going to this job, is I've gotten to see and meet really also a lot of really inspiring people in government, especially in local governments.
Dedicated sa katutuo yung gusto nilang service.
Correct.
Yung mga local, ano yun, NDRR.
PD, RRMC, mga ganyan, di ba?
Correct.
Okay, ayan po. At least sana natutunan nyo kung paano maging resilient in times of disaster and always be prepared. Lalo na sa Pilipinas, hindi po biro ang mga mga natural calamities na natatanggap ng ating bansa taon-taon. Talagang taon-taon yan. So ayan po, sana ngayong gabi may mga natutunan kayo at nalaman kung paano natin ito ma-overcome kahit paano. Okay.
Okay. Salamat po tayo sa ating mga guests. Kanina si Colonel
Gonio.
Willie.
Gonio.
Colonel Willie, si Leng, and of
So,
course si
Erick.
Si Erick
Abangley.
who drove all the way from Kapangan.
Yes.
Just this morning, just to attend this Jing.
Yes.
This our show, no. Maraming salamat sa iyo.
Bale,
Erick.
masarap naman yung food eh.
Oo, talaga 6 hours. Ano rin yun, medyo malayo-layo rin yun, no. And of course, kay Boss Roby,
Alampay.
for aside from being our guest, siya rin na nag-provide ng ating
Ng ating venue for today.
and the food.
And the food. Maraming salamat, Roby.
Nagulat din ako sa food.
Thank you, Sarah.
Kay Sarah pala.
And of course, sila Steph, sila MJ,
Ramon,
nandyan.
sila Steph, ayan.
Sila
Elijah,
si
Eli.
Eli. Thank you sa inyong lahat.
Okay.
Thank you sa buong PLDT Smart Public Engagement Team.
Okay. Of course, salamat din kila RJ tuloy. JR. Limang siglo. Ayan. Trips ko naman.
Yo, maraming salamat at magandang gabi po mula dito sa PLDT Ramon 𝐲𝐿𝐴 Building, ang aming venue ngayon sa TechSabado. Raymund Tribdino po ng The Manila Times at ng TechSabado at ng cleantechnica.com.
Okay, thank you, Eric.
Thank you po.
Lalo sa biyahe mo from Benguet.
Yes.
And of course, thank you. Maraming salamat, Roby, ang ating dating boss.
Maraming salamat, Jing, Melvin, Raymond.
Thank
Maraming
you.
salamat. Congratulations.
Salamat.
Ulit sa
Maraming
TechSabado.
Thank you.
Thank you. At thank you rin sa venue na to. Okay, Jing Garcia po ng TechSabado.com and of course, The Manila Times saying goodbye for tonight. See you next week para po sa another inspiring and exciting episode ng TechSabado.